Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. The crypto top is in, according to Ansem and Miles Deutscher. Some crypto KOLs have come out and said the actual whole crypto cycle top is in. What do you think about that? We've now got more information around Michael Saylor. Is MicroStrategy going to get added into the S&P 500 later? Is there going to be a Dogecoin ETF? And our favorite baby dolls over there in Germany, does your government have access to $5 billion of Bitcoin that they haven't seized yet and could seize and come and dump on us? All of that coming your way and more. But first, friends, we are battling through this weekend. Bitcoin's still $110,000. And it's been moving quite slow. As we go, we're starting to go push in through the rest of Rektember. And then we're going to see the US Fed, the odds of a cut pretty much almost 100, more than 100% priced in. So there's about a 10% chance or a 50 basis point cut. A lot of people are starting to call for a recession. I've seen like Camel Finance and just other crypto influencers as well. Pretty much they're saying we are now the end of times. We're going to have one final parabolic blow off. We'll see. We don't know. We'll see. Maybe we do get this big parabolic blow off for them. A lot of these people as well, friends, a lot of them are Bitcoin Maxi pros. So like you get to see, right? A lot of these people, they would love a, 150K to 300K zone BTC so they can just get out. So I wonder what happens if they don't get their 150. That's why we've been talking about this for a long time. I wonder what happens if they don't get their 150. It stays at 130 and then this happens. Are they going to say it's over, or they're going to go, no, we still got more, right? It'd just be interesting to see how much their biases clip in. And remember, no one's going to be selling at 130. No one. They're going to be selling after that first dip in that collapse. So we'll see how it all plays out. We have the Bitcoin dominance here, still hanging around 58%. There's obviously a lot of confusion going on because everything is stalled. Normally, friends, when we move along the cycle, we move on along this 3 steps forward, 2 steps back type of mantra. But then eventually start to go parabolic. I just want to quickly show some fun stuff as well. So it's kind of fun. So we have Ben Copen here. Ben Copen has 1 million subscribers, friends. Remember, these are all mainstream consensus now. When you have, a couple of 100,000 people following you and you're doing stuff like this, like people adopt your mantra, right? You are the market. And you go to speak to each person, Ansem and Miles and Crypto Banter, and everyone says, I'm an independent thinker and I can do all my stuff. It's funny. They're all independent thinkers and then they all come to the same conclusions. It's just funny how markets work, man. So it's pretty much Ben Cope, and I found this funny. If you notice, friends, he's drawing the yield of the bonds, the 10-year bond yield. So you're like, but Sommi, he's drawing it up. Does that mean, yes, my friends, he's calling for rate hikes? So he believes that they're going to cut rates. This is just funny, friends, because the whole time he's been saying for like years, okay, he says, alt season's going to happen and you should get into altcoins when they cut rates. Okay, but what he believed would happen is when they cut rates, he thinks we would have another zombie virus crash, and that's why they're cutting rates. Right now, they're not. We don't have a zombie virus crash, yeah? So that's why he says it's coming any day now. So that's why he thinks Bitcoin dominance. Remember, friends, he said Bitcoin dominance. He kept moving the goalposts up and up and up and up and up and up. He's still calling Bitcoin dominance for 75% plus, even though it's come back down. So you just get to see it. Friends, it's no different to everybody being bullish in the beginning of the bear market. Every time it comes down, they're like bullish, 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 bullish. I wonder if Bitcoin dominance is the same thing. He's like 75%, 75%, 75%. So I'm just wondering if that's what ends up playing out, So everyone gets a taste of their own medicine when they have like this very arrogant approach to people. So he's calling for rates to cut now. He's still Bitcoin Maxi, and he's changed his whole view. So now he says, okay, we're going to cut rates, but don't worry, the economy is going to crash and they're going to have to hike rates soon. I just found it funny. He thinks interest rates are going to go back above 5%. He thinks they're going to cut rates and then inflation's going to get out of hand, so they're going to have to hike them again. You know what? We'll cover this again later. It is funny. Look, friends. This is just, you'll see, man. Everyone's got a bias somewhere, and that's okay. Friends. I'm biased. I want to keep my genitals. Some people want to chop them off. You know what I mean? So you got to have a bias somewhere. It's just that in markets, when you have one bias and you're getting paid to have your bias. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. You just got to think about it. You got to think about like how much do they really want this view to hold. Because I'll just give you an example. Copen, friends, he's got like 7,000 people in his VIP subs. And they're all paying $1,000 a year. So he's getting between 7 to let's call it 8 million US a year. Just to tell you that. it's funny, man. It's cool. You're telling me you can just have a Bitcoin Maxi financial advice? Buy Bitcoin only. Everything else is a scam. You just keep saying that, and people will give you. He's making, I think it's like $800,000 a month. So it's like 8 or 9 million a year. it's gold. I mean, congratulations to him. It's just, if you're following something like that, you're a retardio. You're actual retardio. You're giving someone $9 million a year to tell you they're all scams. Buy this one coin. It's Bitcoin. Oh man, and then you wonder why. Well, you can't wonder why. So it's on you. So if you're giving all your money to a dude telling you to be Bitcoin Maxi forever, don't come crying when you've missed all the actual low value stuff that's pumped up heaps and become expensive value later on. You've done no research. That's why, friends, people holding in crypto right now, like they think, they're sick and twisted, right? But this is how it works for you. People think, because they don't know, you know, they think that there's going to be like this magical traffic light that appears and says, okay, now you shall go into alts. Now is alt season beginning. You, with your Bitcoin Maxi portfolio, you must now buy these 5 altcoins. Here they are on a silver platter here for you. Here's a dinner plate for you. Let's open it up. Your 5 magical altcoins. You will rotate into these and you're going to get like a 15x return. It does not happen. I mean, like case in point, right now we are watching the Bitcoin dominance like go down and everybody's just saying it's the end. I mean, like your friends, it's literally happening as we speak. We check it out right here. You see that? So this is ETH, this is Ethereum right now, friends. He's calling for Ethereum to go down to 2,500 right now. So he's basically saying, oh, Bitcoin dominance, don't worry, you're going to get 75%. Okay, what if, friends, what if blockchain backers box ends up playing out, which I'll show you now. This is for Ethereum. What if this box ends up shooting up to the upside? What if it actually does break it up like this? Do you want to know what that means? You go check this out, friends. You go what does this mean? If Ethereum really does go and make its move, that's a plus 50% rise, right? So if Ethereum rises plus 50%, and see, they all think Bitcoin's going to be jumping to like $300,000 as that happen. Okay, man, what if you're wrong about that? What if the next leg is Ethereum rising? Or what if the Bitcoin dominance goes down to like here? Now what? Now you're like, oh crap, you've wasted all this time. You can't get in. Oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to buy here, by the way? They don't know, friends. They have no idea. There's too many coins. They've done no research. They don't know. What's a believer's coin? You got no idea. You got no idea. Is Pepe cheap or expensive right now? Is Mog cheap or expensive? They're not going to know. So you see what I mean? That is the... It's a tragedy of the crypto cycle right now, pretty much. But there's a it's not a real tragedy, but there's a cost to these things. If you sit in risk off, okay, you have no idea what to buy and risk on. And by the way, I'll guarantee you, the only things that they'll buy and the risk on, they'll just buy top 10 stuff. They'll buy like XRP. Yeah, but XRP might be like $4.50. What are you going to do? Buy it at $4.50, sell it at 10? You know what I mean? So this is just how it works, man. This is the game. So that's why a lot of people will ask me, Sommi, do you regret getting in altcoins and stuff? I hear no, look at all the research we've done. We're totally immune to the volatility now. Things go up and down, you know. Just give you examples on Pulse Chain. We know Pulse Chain is deeply undervalued, right? Deep value contrarian. But then even look at my say conviction in pDAI, for example. You know what I mean? Like friends, they'll be getting wet over a 20% move in Bitcoin, and pDAI, thinking about this, just to get back to its all-time high, will give you, if it got back there, not financial advice, man, what's this number? That's a 7.5x. You know, but see what I mean? This is happening all over the crypto space. So when you drink soy and you have that, you know, that risk-off portfolio, look, you roll this forward. What happens at the end? Okay, 7,000 people who are paying a dude $8 million a year to tell them to be in a Bitcoin Maxi portfolio. At the end, what happens? Okay, you miss out. You watch, and you missed out on XRP, guys. Pumped. Pulse Chains pumped. Heaps of other stuff's pumped. Heaps and heaps and heaps. They're saying this time is different, right? But okay, what if you're wrong? You're in a Bitcoin Maxi portfolio, not 50-50. You know what I mean? So when you see that, you missed out. We can't rewind time. And by the way, what you'll see, friends, is, see, logically, this is just what happens as well. Okay, this is the crowd. I'm telling you, I'm teaching you so you don't do this. Yeah. The crowd of these people, instead of looking in the mirror and say, wow, I got grifted. I got grifted. Somebody convinced me this time was actually different. And that altcoins never ever going to go up. Instead of saying that to themselves, because people, it'd be too hard to admit that to yourself. Because they do the maths. They're like, wait, I gave a guy $1,000 a year for 5 years to tell me in Bitcoin Maxi. That could have been $5,000. Imagine I just bought any of these other things. It could have made it 20x. So like, you cost 5 here, and then you opportunity cost is 100K. Because obviously it's not going to happen. People just assume, but that's what they're going to be feeding. Obviously, it's not realistic. You're not going to make it 20x because you guys don't know what the hell you're doing anyway. But these people, that's how they're going to get the calculator out. The calculator of doom. They're going to doom themselves. They're going to go, oh my gosh, if I put that $5,000 into XRP at 3. But by the way, they will do this, by the way, because XRP was 30 cents. And if it goes to $10, that's 33x. So they'll be telling them to themselves, wow, if I just put my $5,000 into XRP and believed in something, I'd have 150K. Instead, I gave it to a Bitcoin Maxi telling me not to be in altcoins, right? And then you can't rewind everything. It's done. Goodbye. See you next cycle. But no one logically says that. They don't logically say that. Instead, this is what happens, right? Instead, they will find someone who says, don't worry, the cycle still has more to go. Don't worry, you haven't missed out on this coin. This coin's still going up. You know, it's done its first 10x. It's going to do another 10x. And yeah, that's what ends up happening. So instead of people saying, damn it, I got this whole thing wrong. I did the wrong move. I stayed risk off. I didn't pivot. I should have been taking on risk the whole time. I would have been good off just like the XRP dude. If I just believed in something. Instead of saying that, they get lured somewhere else. You know, and that's how, friends, we want this to happen, by the way. This is human nature. This is cycles. This is how it all plays out. And then at the end of it, what's happened? Okay, you've made one guy. By the way, wait till people do the maths. You've given a guy $8 million a year. You've been subscribed to him for 4 years. He's made it's gold. He's made 32 million to tell you to be in Bitcoin only. Pretty much, that's gold. It's good. I'm inspired to see that there are that many people that can get things consistently wrong for that amount of time. But you know, it is what it is. That's how the game works. Remember, friends, like look at the XRP chart. Do you understand how many people were attacking XRP down here last year? Look at this, man. It ran up 4.4x against Bitcoin. Okay, now it's up 3.3x. And yeah, this is a log chart. You know, if it does shoot this, there you go. You've missed out completely, literally completely. The whole thing gone, right? So you only get a shot at this once. And yeah, the business cycle, this is one thing you want to know, right? We do know this. It's the business cycle. The business cycle, we did not know it was going to be down this long forever, okay? But friends, these people, they're saying it's going to stay here forever. That's effectively what they're saying. They're saying, don't worry, see how it's been bad here? We're actually this thing is never, ever, ever going to go up again. Even though you look at history, and it has always gone up. This is the business cycle of humanity, man, pretty much. There is a business cycle. They're saying, don't worry, this thing is staying down forever. You know, and then like every single time in history when this happens, people go risk on. In altcoins, we have 3 out of 3 occasions they go risk on altcoins, but people are saying no, this time is different. So, you know, like on one hand, even if this is crazy, friends, even when I show people this, if their situation is that they got the risk off and they're too scared to take on risk, which is completely fine, it ends up being a powder keg. It ends up just bubbling up like a boiling kettle and ends up just blowing up later because emotion overrides all. Friends, do you understand the shame someone's going to feel when they speak to people and they're like, hey, you've been in crypto for like 4 years. Everything's going up. And then they're too risk off. They're in stable coins and Bitcoin. Like, oh, but Bitcoin's amazing, right? Everything's great. So you see, no one even believes that part can happen. But that moment was the exact reason why you're in altcoins in the first place. Is that everybody has forgotten like that. That's actually I guess it's a good signal to tell us that it's time to go, like up. So that's funny, friends, how that's all going to play out with this macro stuff and everything out here. So I've got more news to cover here for you as well. So the crypto top is in, according to Ansem and Moyles Deutscher, both crypto influencers, just to show you. So Obviously, I find this on Twitter and stuff like here. So here we have Ansoi. My gut says we've topped. And then look, this guy replies, says, Ethereum, Ansoi said back in Feb, Ethereum will never trade above $4,000 as long as I live on planet Earth. But then Ansoi said, oh, no, it went down 70% after this tweet. Which is funny, friends. Like, see how they try to spin it as a win? Do you want me to mark on the chart where he did his tweet? End of Feb is here. There you go. So right here. So, friends, he's saying, look at this. He's saying Ethereum is never going up again. Dude, this whole move happened. This whole move happened. He goes, no, I actually win. You see, we went down first. But that's okay, friends. See, people, they're chasing clout. They want to look good. I don't give a crap, bro. I don't care. I don't care. Give me a 0% win rate. I don't care. Friends, these people, they don't put food on the table for you and me. They don't cuddle us to sleep. Okay, they don't have fluffy slippers at all. Who cares about them? Okay, they're just people yelling out there, and they're attracting scum. Remember, friends, scum attracts scum. Okay, people who are like this, Flash and Rolex, or this weirdo type of homoerotic stuff that you see in this, what they call Soylana trenches, or worshipping these people on stream, and then you get like the Gainsey move where they just do the full send Hitler. They call it I think the FSH. I think it's full sell Hitler. That's what it's called. It's in like the full. Sell everything in one candle. So people going around, they're worshipping stuff like that. But, you know, let them be. We don't care. Also, I just find it interesting as well. You have, it's funny, people using Grok to say, hey, did Ethereum trade above $4,000 after this? Yes. Which is funny. And then you check it out here as well. We have Miles. My gut says we've topped. My head can't rationalize why. Typically, crypto only tops. This time could be different, but I have a hard time betting against the macro trend. So, yeah, man, it feels like, say, Miles is now looking up to Ansoi, you know, because they're cut from the same cloth, if you know what I mean, you know. If you know how to read personalities and stuff, you can tell they're cut from the same cloth. They respect the same things, you know what I mean. Like if they see, oh gosh, if they see someone with a lot of money and like a glittery jacket, and let's keep it family friendly. Let's just say he's participating in non-straight activities at a party. You know, these are the people who be like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You know, friends, have you ever met people like that? I know a lot of people like that. Just because that person's got a lot of money, they'll like turn a blind eye to everything. You know, and you say, man, like, you know, I don't think this guy's family friendly at all. In fact, I don't even think his wife knows he's gay. But they're like, no, it's all right. He's got money. You know, I'm giving you examples. This stuff has happened in real life, friends. so there's some people just like that, man. When they see money, they totally respect everything about it. Yeah, but then you got no worth, bro. You got no worth what? Because someone has an account somewhere where there are digits. That's a high number or some material worth. What you think now you're a subhuman filth piece of shit compared to them because they just have more money. So unfortunately, friends, yeah, a lot of society does work like that. But, you know, once you understand a lot of these, but once you got to understand these people because you're probably thinking, oh, is there some mad formula these people are reading? Because they got a lot of experience in crypto because everyone's crypto is really volatile and erratic and people think they have inside information. They don't. They don't, man. They don't. Everything's getting tops and bottoms and everything out here, friends. I tell you all the time, bro. It's always like a 50-50 coin toss. My edge is not in trying to predict whether the head is going to, when we flip the coin, whether it's going to be heads or tails. That's not my edge. My edge is I try to find games such that, see, they're all 50-50, okay? Obviously, they're all 50-50, heads or tails. I try to find games where if it's heads, I get to win $10, and if it's tails, I'll lose the dollar. That's what I'm trying to do. I try to like move. I don't want to play the games where someone says heads, I win $1, tails, I lose 10, right? I don't want to play those games. I want to play the asymmetric upside games. And that's what you should do. That's how you win in this game. Uncle Bobby Lucas has shared a strange 4-year cycle scenario where we have also topped out right now. You gotta remember, friends, what I've been telling you this whole Juicy News episode is we are climbing the wall of worry and see how everyone's coming out. And you know, they're all bearish as shit, all of them. Okay, friends, it shows you Copen, showing you Ansoi, Miles. That's interesting. Copen, Bitcoin Maxi, Ansoi, Soy Maxi. Miles changes his coins like every 15 seconds, right? And then makes a whole, 15-minute video about a new strategy going forward. But then he changes that after a week. 3 different approaches to stuff I hear all of them saying it's over. Okay, see what I mean? That's why I watch it. That's why I look at everyone. Most people don't. They don't watch. They gravitate to people they kind of like relate to and stuff out here. I just go, I want to look at everybody, right? I don't judge. I have Uncle Bobby Lucas as well, friends. Uncle Bobby Lucas, he's got this weird cycle. Now, if you notice on the bottoms here, you have these, actually zoom up for you, right here. So he has, if you look at the bottom, these like peachy bums, they are like these 4-year cycle rotations. And if we look at where we are right now, we are right here. So he's kind of saying Bitcoin could go to like 150 and then capitulate down by the end of next year and come back to, what is this price? Around 70,000. So that's a 50% drop. So I'm guessing this number, so yeah, this number would be, he's saying it could go to 150 and then come back to like 75. And then we actually do the real cycle after that. You know, he's just showing maybe a different scenario. You know, I know, friends, if you're on the sidelines, I know it gets frustrating. You're like, Sommi, everyone just keeps changing their mind. No one knows what the hell is going on. I know. That's why when we guess, I tell you we guess. Look, man, I've been telling you from day one. This is my mantra: buying depression, selling euphoria. I don't see with euphoria, I'm not getting out. Don't care. Okay. I don't give a crap. I don't see euphoria. I'm not getting out, man. I'm not getting out. When I see weak hands, all right. Now we're talking. I don't see any weak hands. I just see people completely fed up. Families are on basically hold in terms of taking a holiday or having children or anything out. That's what I'm seeing out here. And people can't like move forward in life because this thing is basically the biggest chain around their neck. And they just want to leave. Yeah, bro, that's not, it's over. I just want to leave. Man, this thing's never going to get started, which is literally the beginning of bull market stuff, right? So I'll cover more a bit about that, a bit more of that later. But the theme, you're getting the point of the theme. Everybody's like all these other places, you know? So here's the thing as well, friends. As well, euphoria, I try to look for, hey, is there something I could quantitatively say is euphoria? Well, I like using OTHERS-BTC. I don't know. Yeah, I'm scared as well. What if it doesn't work? I don't know. What if it doesn't work? I know, I'll just completely say that, friends. You know, let's actually crank it a bit. You know, it's funny, friends. A lot of you say the same things, questions, and you just have a shocked face every time, even in real life. They go, hey, what if it just goes down and it doesn't work? I go, well, all right, then we're bankrupt. Working at McDonald's. Everyone just like, whoa, that can happen. I go, bro, you don't understand. Once you sit through minus 99% drops, you just don't care anymore. You literally, that's it. Hey, you want to blast me with a railgun? If the universe want to just come slam a comment here. I don't give a crap anymore. I don't care. But you'll find that this type of confidence of like, I just don't care anymore, dude. That's the juice you need for the bull market. They're like, I don't care, man. I literally don't care. I don't care. Send it to zero, dude. Just send it to zero. It's so undervalued, right? It's like they haven't repriced at all. Literally at all. This is, friends. Oh, by the way, yeah. This is the, obviously, OTHERS-BTC. We've only had 2 green monthly candles in a row. See how it's going slow? We never know, man. This could actually, it could just start ticking up and people don't feel like it's euphoric until the end. So we'll wait. Checking out more news as well, friends. Business Bitcoin holdings have doubled in the past 9 months. So that's actually interesting. More businesses coming into crypto. They're accumulating more and more Bitcoin. So they're adding them to their stash. I think it's fantastic. You think it's fantastic. That's what we want to see. And look, friends, just Bitcoin's a neo-religion, obviously, because like even me, if I had to, let's say you just had children and you're like, okay, you want to save crypto for your child, right? For 21 years. What do you do? So like you go, doesn't matter what coin you really choose, but you know you got to have some Bitcoin. You know you have to. So it has to be some sort of percentage, you know? With the other altcoins, everyone argues about which altcoins, you know? And someone out there is going to be right. But we know already, okay, man, like what if you're wrong about your altcoin? You're like, well, okay, when I have 50% Bitcoin, right? You never know. Maybe you're a Polkadot Maxi. You're going to have some Bitcoin just in case Polkadot's not around in 20 years, right? So if you have your BTC, it's just telling you, wow, it's a neo-religion. And it's also telling us as well, friends, all of us, like, it's bearish on real estate long term. It's bearish on stocks compared to crypto long. Crypto's like way too cheap. Way too cheap. At some point, though, it won't be cheap, you know, when the growth rates aren't this high. But, you know, hopefully that's a long time from now. According to River, Bitcoin adoption has reached 3% globally in 2025. Now, friends, this is extremely dangerous. Okay, they always share this. This is how everybody's going to get trapped at the top again. They always share this at the start of the euphoria, basically the juice of the bull market. And at the top, nobody wants to sell. So this is another way to tell you, don't worry, you're really, really early. You can just buy anything you need in Bitcoin because you're so early, right? So this is because it's only got 3% of the world adoption here. So they're assuming it gets to 100%. So basically, I think it's like, you know, they're assuming based on the population, and over time it gets there. So that's why a lot of people as well, they think, you know, oh, Bitcoin's going to go to 100 trillion market cap, right? That is like, you know, plan B and stuff out here, which is $10 million Bitcoin price. So it is, look, man, I hope we do get it. I really hope we do get it. You just got to be careful because, man, look, fans, it's not stocks. Tesla has a unique competitive advantage compared to Johnson & Johnson. Okay, they make different products. Okay. In crypto, Bitcoin, its product is a story which you can never change. It is Satoshi, it runs itself, there's no, you know what I mean? Like all of that. But over time, people will crack it, man. They will crack the code. They put buy and burns. They make things more scarce and inflationary. They hook up to more liquidity routes. They do stuff over time. They will. The network effects will eventually chew up with each other because we're all holding the same thing. You know, with crypto, with tech stocks, it's different. For example, how you use Google products is different to how you use Tesla products, and it's different to how to use Meta, which is Facebook. Facebook, Google, Tesla. You see how they're different? And Nvidia. How do you use Nvidia products? Yeah, it's their GPU. Do you see how they're like totally different? But with crypto, everything's open source, man, and it's code on the internet and their networks. Right? So we don't know how it's all going to play out, but obviously makes me very excited because as we unlock more ways to get these big pumps, okay, that's why no one believes this thing is even possible. What I'm basically telling you is to be turbo bullish on altcoins, but no one believes that. But that's exactly what we want, right? Ethereum's ETFs saw a net outflow of $950 million this week, and I've written too much soy. So obviously this, friends, is being posted by Cointelegraph. Or the other mainstream KOLs. They're like, oh, Ethereum, they're all exiting out of Ethereum. Price barely moved, bro. The ETH-BTC is still 0.038 to 0.39. So it's not budging. That just tells you it was like sold off way too low. Michael Saylor is now in the top 500 richest people on earth. Wow, friends. So Michael Saylor has joined it. Here he is, 495. Friends, I couldn't believe it. Ricardo Salinas, he is the Mexican billionaire. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, you're only worth 7 billion? You're only worth 7. I thought you were 70. Only $7 billion net worth. Friends, it's kind of funny as well. Obviously, we're joking. Friends, this is funny, bro. You're worth 7 billion and you're still a nobody on the list. You're still rank 495. Tell you, man, if you measure your own net worth or some sort of significance or compare it to other people, you are never going to be happy in your life whatsoever, okay? You're never going to be happy. You will never achieve any sort of comfort. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. You actually... Friends, everybody is useless. And by the way, even the guy on the top, like Elon, yeah, but Elon's not in Donald Trump's club. Yeah, he doesn't even run the world. Friends, Elon doesn't even control Twitter. Mossad controls the Twitter. They ban all the anti-Israel posts. So you get all the money and then you don't have all the power. You can't win that game. I don't know why people keep trying. Obviously, friends, we're here to improve our life situations. But people, their whole ambition, people who put themselves in like this spotlight of like, yes, I must achieve the ranking of like, there's always a bigger game, dude. There's always a bigger game. Oh, congratulations, you hit $100,000. Now try to get to $1 million. Now try to get to 10 million. Friends, these guys are at 7 billion. What do you think Michael Saylor's thinking about? Michael Saylor's got net worth 7 billion now. He's trying to think about the 10, about the 100 billion. How can I 15x? How can I get to 100 billion? You know, obviously you should keep trying. But at some point, you know, friends, if you don't push your off button, no one will. Where have I heard that before, huh? Dogecoin ETF could launch soon. Hopefully it does. What does Doge do? Nothing. Funny joke on the internet. People put money in and out. Hopefully they trade around and we get some good friendship pumps. According to Ledger, 2.3 to 3.7 million Bitcoin out of 21 million is permanently lost. At least 11% of the total supply is gone forever. So people say that's very, very bullish because less supply, yada, yada. Hopefully we do continue to see friendship. $3 billion in shorts will be liquidated when Bitcoin hits 117K. Michael Saylor's strategy ticks all the S&P 500 boxes, but the community could still block it. And they did block it. Remember, the S&P 500, the filtering list, it's secret. It's a secret committee, and they put secret lists. They don't want everything put in there because you get access to a lot of American capital, DCA money buying in. But it would be a cheat code if Michael Saylor can get in for all of us because he's going to get a bid. He'll get access, I think, about $15 billion. It has to be forcefully rotated into him because now he's in the index. And he's just going to mint shares, take the money, and go buy Bitcoin for all of us. So that'd be great. Come on, Mikey. Remember, friends, we're cheering on Mikey. He's going to pump our bags, man. He's doing it, okay? Once we get Bitcoin's valuation up, remember, Bitcoin's risk-off stuff. But when people are in risk-on mode, they will be selling that Bitcoin to go throw into other stuff. Okay, so we all win if that happens. We all win. Arkham says $5 billion in Bitcoin tied to Movie 2K remains unseized by Germany. I don't know what Movie 2K is. Is that was like a BitTorrent or a pirate one thing out here back in the day? I think this is, we have Fed decisions out here. I think I had it in another picture. It doesn't matter. So yes, we have $5 billion from Germany. If they do seize it, they might dump again, and then we get to I hope that happens, by the way. I hope they do seize it and then just start dumping it. And then we get to laugh at them as it goes up again. That'd be great. The good memes. Remember, friends, the US Fed rate decisions. You have 50 basis point cut is a 10% chance from the US Fed. So, yeah, we're pretty much waiting for that again. Here we come, Rektember. Just a final word as well, friends. Like, I've shown you many examples, yeah. All these KOLs, all of them between, 500,000 or million followers, okay? Bitcoin Maxi, Soy Maxi, all of them are Soy Maxis pretty much of some sort. And they all have their own different, different color and different flavor, how they approach. A lot of them saying cycle tops in. I don't give a shit. Send it to 0. I don't care. Send it to negative numbers. I don't care. Send me down for another 4 years. I don't care anymore, man. I don't care. Okay, I know you are feeling the exact same way because that's how we're all talking right now. And that, my friends, is the strongest of strong hands. Yeah? The strongest. Friends, that is like you are, let's say you're on some holy land and the you-know-who's are saying, we're going to bomb you. And you say, I don't care, not leaving. Bomb me. Don't care. You don't care. You get it? So like that's you're the strongest. You're actually the last person left. So when you have a lot of people saying, no, don't say that. Don't say we're going down. That means you got a lot of weak hands, a lot of anxiety, right? It's funny when I say, think about this, right? The anxiety, it can only come from one place now. If you have a risk-off portfolio, which is Bitcoin and stablecoins, and you don't know which altcoin to buy. Yeah. It's the last key missing link. But we need the racist Russell 2000 to pop the high. That's what we're all waiting for. Yes, we all know that, friends. The racist Russell 2000... Remember, we're going to cover it every single day because remember, US markets, they don't open on weekends because they're boomer boring. But this is it, racist Russell 2000. When we're finally ready to go, maybe the US Fed rate cut, it's around here. Maybe it finally does go pop, and then we'll see. Maybe that's enough to do it. And then after that, hopefully the risk-on thing appears. But I just don't know, man. I mean, like if the economy's cracking and unemployment rate's getting bad, what's going to happen? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Catch you soon.